Half-Life 2 has many unique weapons to the series, such as the gravity gun, which lets you kill your enemies with objects, or the pulse rifle, allowing you to vaporize your opponent in mere seconds. But what if you disregard all other weapons other than the crowbar? Can you beat Half-Life 2 with only the crowbar? The rules are simple. I can only use the crowbar in combat. No killing with the gravity gun, grenades, or vehicles. I am allowing myself to use the gravity gun to move heavy objects, but I cannot use it to harm enemies. So anyways, that's enough talk. Let's get started. I started off at a train station, bugged some citizens, and continued on my way through the station. I met Barney and Dr. Kleiner and continued on my way. I refused to throw the can away and hopped away from the guard. Ah, City 17. Okay, let's move on. I invaded some people's apartments and sprinted past some CPs, and Alex was apparently a ghost. After the long, boring encounter with Dr. Kleiner, I was teleported outside and continued on my adventure. And alas, I had finally acquired my trusty crowbar. I ran through the train station and picked up a gun that I had no use for, beat some more cops, and continued on my way. By now, I crossed my first rough patch. Explosive barrels. If they are thrown at me, I can't just shoot them to blow them up. I have to run in fear. So I did just that. After meeting a Vortigaunt and getting seduced by him, I came across my second rough patch. Gun turrets. This one wasn't so bad since I had plenty of cover, but the others would prove to be a different story. Remember me talking about explosive barrels earlier? There's another problem with that. I can't shoot them to ignite them, so I can't blow up this bridge. If I whack it with the crowbar, I'll just blow up and die. But there is a workaround to this. Pick up a different barrel, get a cop to shoot it, and throw it at the bridge. I then skipped most of the tunnels of prop flying, as those are very boring. I paid no attention to Manhack Marty and left him for dead. Then I came across my new enemy, Machine Gun Cop, who deals a lot more damage. Another problem I ran into were the barnacles. You can't just shoot them, you have to get picked up by them, then beat them to death. A small inconvenience, but still an inconvenience. I skipped past all the annoying ass manhacks, but that didn't help much as I found myself trapped in a room with about 50 of the damn things. I was gonna try to prop climb through the tunnel with a barrel, but just kept dying, so I played it normal and turned on the water. Then headcrab zombies were introduced and take 4 crowbar whacks to take down instead of the 2 the cops do. I finally got to the airboat and proceeded on to the next chapter. I did a puzzle and carefully drove past all the Metro Police. I then approached another block in the road. I need to blow up these explosive barrels to blow open these damn doors. So I made sure to save one Metro cop, grabbed a barrel, and on my first attempt, blew open the doors. But the trickiest part had yet to come. I spent around 30 minutes trying my hardest to get through this stupid building, but Machine Gun Guy kept killing me. I found out that running into this room and luring them in one by one worked the best, and continued on my way. After some time, I met my next challenge, a chopper, which I cannot kill. But we'll get to that later. For now, I had to blow open these shipment container doors, but with no way to ignite them, I just had the cars shoot their rockets at me, and they eventually lit the barrels on fire. Now comes the real challenge, getting past this helicopter. If you try to open the gate with it alive, it just shoots you dead. After getting every piece of loot I could find, I managed to open the gate, release the lever, and get to Eli's lab. After several boring encounters, I was split up with Alex and headed on to Ravenholm. I really expected Ravenholm to be harder, but since it's like my 20th time playing through this, I knew exactly where to go and sped through the whole thing. It also helped that the zombies couldn't fight back very well, and only took about 4 crowbar swings to go down. I also made sure not to kill any of the zombies with the card traps. The end battle with Father Grigori was a breeze, and I also expected the snipers to pose some kind of a threat, but I just b-hopped away from all of them. I made it to the rebel base and just let them take out the Combine. I decided to skip using the car as I might accidentally kill an Antlion, and b-hopping was probably faster anyways. I skipped the rebel fight as I have no need for the rocket launcher and couldn't take down the gunship even if I wanted to. I made sure not to kill the Combine with the crane and b-hopped past all of them, only killing off a few. This is pretty much how most of Highway 17 went. Then I came to the bridge, and you may be asking how am I going to defeat the gunship and open the gates. Well, if you take a basket, throw it over the barrier for later, then take another, you can use hop over the barrier, take your other basket, and do the same thing, skipping the whole section. I skipped all of the zombies and came to my next gunship battle, which I cannot complete. But if you just hop onto this tree on the edge of the secret entrance, you can skip this whole section. I came across the greatest mine of our generation, Laszlo, and immediately stepped on the sand. The Antlion Guardian wasn't all that hard to beat, and I just ended up running circles around him while constantly whacking him to his demise. In this section you have to use the bug bait, but I wasn't using it on any enemies, so I won't count it. I headed on to Nova Prospect, and just ended up b-hopping and sprinting through the majority of it. Then I made it to the beginning of the end, the prison. In order to continue through the prison, you have to take down 3 gunner ships, which I was not able to do. Like, actually unable. I had never even picked up the rocket launcher, so I ended up having to no-clip through a wall, thus failing the challenge. But we've come this far, so why not see how much further we can go? Nova Prospect was by far the hardest part of the run so far. With the swarms of Combines running towards me and scarce health supplies, I died a lot through this portion. I skipped as much as I could with prop climbing, and also used the turrets, which I don't count as cheating. If you do, the dislike button is down below, waiting to be highlighted. I then met my next snag. You have to throw a grenade into this room and blow the switch off the wall. There is no workaround for this, so I failed the run a second time. I prop climbed and skipped the Combine battle, and for the next ones, just placed the turrets in their cubbies and hid in there with them. Me and Alex cleared out some more Combine and found the traitor, Mossman. Got double-crossed. The turrets did all of the fighting. We got teleported. Dog had a badass moment. And I moved on to follow Freeman. There wasn't anything special to this. I mostly just ran through, occasionally beating up Combine. I did get jumped by a horde of headcrabs, but I won the fight. Alex found me, and I moved on to another Combine battle, which I skipped. What did you expect from me? Then I proceeded to run past all the manhacks and make this sip jump. Now it was time for what I thought would be a really hard challenge. The game puts you in this pump house or room or something with multiple swarms of Combine. But this was honestly very easy, as the guards were easy to get to, and I ended up just skipping past the last few. Now where things go south again. Barney is trapped on the roof with multiple snipers to take down. The game won't let you progress unless you take out the snipers. I thought the challenge was doomed to fail, so I played it regularly and took out the snipers. But whenever Barney led me to the gate we had to cross, an idea struck me. What was stopping me from just prop climbing up the gate? So I did just that, and it worked. The run has already failed, yes, but I'm still going to try to use other weapons as little as possible. Now it was time to deal with the suppression field. It wasn't very difficult to get through, but problems arose whenever the game wouldn't let me progress unless I used a grenade to take out one of the turrets. So I failed the run yet again. But this was the only time I took out one of these turrets. The rest of the museum wasn't too bad. I mostly let Barney do all the work and ended up finding out that he can die in this chapter. I did have to use the gravity gun to knock out all the energy balls, but I didn't kill anybody with them, so I won't count it. When you do get to the rooftop, the game wants you to take out a gunship, but you can skip this by prop flying with the supply crate. As for all the guards, I just ran past them as there were way too many to kill. I did pretty much the same thing whenever I was out in the battlefield. Run, hide, run. I avoided a strider, beat a rebel who wouldn't get the hell out of my way, and let the rebels take out most of the combine. Now here's where we hit yet another snag. This strider will not let you pass through to where you have to go. No matter how fast you are or how much health you have, he will always one-shot you, forcing you to take him and his friend out with the rocket launcher. This run is in shambles, but let's continue anyways. Dog found an entryway, Barney said a bad word, and we were off to find Breen. I tried to skip Breen's wild ride with commands, but it always broke the game, so I was forced to endure it. I tried to grab the crowbar whenever the game strips you of it, but they must have patched it, as you can no longer do this. Good thing I have console commands. I beat every guard in the Citadel with my trusty crowbar, having to use the gravity gun at certain points, and skipped all of the boring dialogue with good old host frame rate 1. Breen was trying to escape, but it was no match for me and my crowbar. I had to use the gravity gun once more to take down the Citadel's reactor, and I did not beat Half-Life 2 with only the crowbar. This was a pretty fun run. It did prove to have a lot of challenges along the way, but I did still have a lot of fun. I was kind of itching to play Half-Life 2 through again, and I wanted to add something different. So I figured, why not only use the crowbar? Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.